Right. I fixed whatever situation I had here. So last time we ended, I had just included this statement called using system.data.sql. This one is not really needed, the data type, so I can remove it as well. So this is the last statement I added before I left, but I was already adding another one. I just removed it, which is the SQL connection, and I'm going to call it con. The whole idea is to get the connection string into my project. Okay, so in brackets here, this is where I'm going to put my connection string. But where do I find the connection string? Is that one that I implemented before we ended the first video. So this is the connection string. For you guys, it will be different because you will be logging in using Windows authentication. So there will be no need for you to unhide the password. The password here is hidden by default. Right. So back to the form. Now we just need to make sure that we are sending these values to the database, like the name, surname, and what. And all that happens when we press what? The calculate APS score. Okay, so when I get to the calculate button, I need to make sure that I do con.open. This is to open the connection I have with the database. And at the end, I will need to say con.close. This is to close the same connection I have. So every time you open a connection, there must be a closing statement accompanying it. So the closing simply means that I'm done saving. Okay, so let me even show you by displaying a message box dot show to say do I even have to show this? No, I don't have to show this because I'm going to display the results at the end of the program. Okay, so what I need now is to just have an SQL command, and I'm going to call this one com instead of com being equal to new SQL command. Okay, let me just make sure, because this is going to be very, very long connection. So I don't need the server and the what now. Yeah, so I don't think I need anything else. Okay, there we go. But the command works based on, the command will be placed here and it uses a connection. So this is where we're going to put our command, like select all what. Then from there, we're going to say execute this command. So command dot execute non-query, like that. And that will be the end of our program. We just need the correct command here. Then when everything is said and done, we are going to display whether you have passed or you have failed. So we need basically a function to tell us whether you have passed or failed based on the results we're going to be getting. So the pass or fail, let's just say accepted or rejected. I think that's what I was calling it. Accepted, or let's call it results. Results function. Okay, so this will be an independent function. Visual Studio will help us to create this function, introduce generate method. So you will see there it is. Visual Studio will generate a new function for us called results function. Now on this function, because this is where we need to start, on this function we need to pick out and check if ever your APS it's you got 4, at least 4, minimum of 4 on all of those subjects, right? So that is an additional requirement I'm putting here. So to get an accepted results, hey, hello. What are you doing? Nothing. We are all watching here when you are watching on your phone. Do you know these things? Huh? Do you know these things? We are speaking, madam. Do you know these things I'm teaching here? Madam, touching your mouse doesn't help you now. Do you know these things now? So why are you on your phone? Sit on the middle there. Don't sit next to your computer. Sit on the passage so that I see you. That is the passage. Tabitha, the passage is this one. I want to see you when I'm teaching, that you are looking at the screen. Right, so to get an accepted results, you must get a minimum of 16 points. Now 16 points will be derived from, to say, which one is 4? Is it 50 to 60? Yeah, that's 4. So you must get at least 50 to 60 of that. Anything less than that, we will reject you. So let's go implement that. So we're going to say we have a local variable here, which is our local variable will be an integer, and we're going to call it scores. Right, let's call it total score. Total scores. Okay, that has got nothing inside. But then to get the actual total score, we're going to walk around and check how much you actually get from each subject. Okay, so for the first one, we're going to pick we're not even going to pick the subject, we're just going to pick the mark. So if sub1 mark dot text, it's equals to okay, this is still me. If sub1 mark dot text, in fact this is selected text dot selected item dot string, it's equals to 50 to 59. That simply means, I forgot to include the brackets for the toString here. That simply means that you got the total score will be equals to 4. Simple like that. So, but then we must start it from the beginning to say, for sub 1, these are the scores that you can get. For sub 2, these are the scores you can get. So we need to verify the actual mark. How much marks do we have here? So if you come here, you got this. Wanted to just verify the marks. So these are all the marks that you can get. All this, so that they don't cause any trouble, I'm going to comment them out. So you have got 0 to 29. That's basically where we should start. To say if you get 0 to 29, which score do you have? It's what? It's 1. Then, and this is only for mark for the first mark, right? It's not for all the marks. But you can make it such that it's for all the marks. So I forgot to put a 0 here, so that here it's plus total scores plus 1. Doesn't have an S at the end. Okay, like that. So this is just for sub mark 1. So you need to also do the one for what? For 2. So you just change this one to become what? 2. Then you do the other one for 3. You change this one, it becomes 3. You do the other one for 4. You change this one so that it becomes 4. But remember, this is only for when the max is between 0 and what? Huh? And 29, right? And this is not the only option you do. Do you see how many options we have? So we have got to accomplish this. So we remove this and say, okay, this one we're done with it. So we're left with how many more? 4 options. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 times 4, we're looking at 26 more lines of this. So if you've already seen what happens, now all we need to do is change the narrative. So we're gonna say copy this, paste it here, but then separate this with some comments so that you see what's happening. This is for the second option. So we're just gonna change from sub 1.4, we say sub mark 1. If the selected one is now from what? What is the next one? 32 to 39. And then the score here is what? If it's 30 to 39, you get 2 points. So we do the same for what? For this, for the mark 2, because they are still based on the same thing. And we know it's gonna be 4 of them. So we change here, instead of 1 it becomes 2, instead of 1 this one becomes 3, this one becomes 4. Now you are done with what? This selection. Do you see what's happening here? This will be the easier part to understand in the back end. So one more, paste the comments to separate so that we see this is for which option. Now we're going for 40 to what? To 49. We do the same thing, no magic. Copy the previous one, we paste it here. After pasting it, we come and say, okay, sub 1 mark. This time around, we're dealing with what? 40 to 49. And then the score for this is what? It's 3. And then because we're just going to be changing mark 1 now with mark 2, mark 3, we copy this again, paste it here so that it's exactly 4 of them. So we change here, it becomes 2, we change here, it becomes 3, it becomes 4. Okay. Put the comments back to separate. Right, there we go, we have separated. Now we copy this portion. We're done with 40 to 49. So 4 more to go. Paste this. Sub 1 mark 50 to 59. Total score becomes what? 4. Duplicate this. And then we only change from mark 1 to mark 2, mark 3, mark 4. Done. Now, if you've already seen what's happening, I can easily just copy it like this and say, okay, now we're going for 59 to 60, like that. So this will be 60 to 69. But now I have a lot of job to change here. 60 to 69. Okay, 60 to 69 is done. I also have to change this to become 5. Right, the rest remains the same because it's saying sub 1, sub 2, sub 3, sub 4. So this could be faster to implement than the other one. Okay, now we're going for what? 72. And the points here is 6. There we go, the points are 6. Everything looks fine. Last one. This is 80 to 100, right? 80 to 100 is long to type, so I'm just gonna copy it. To 100 is done, and the points for 8 to 100 is the maximum APS, right? You can get, which is 7. Done. From here, okay, from here, all we have to do now, I've removed everything, all we have to do now is check what is the actual total at the end of all this. So we will then say if the total score is, I said the minimum should be what? 16 points, right? So if it's greater or equal to 16, we will then say that results label dot text should be displayed as accepted. Else the results dot text should be displayed as rejected. Done. So this is how it's going to calculate what we're looking for. Selected item dot to string. Okay, I think this should work. Then from there, all we have to deal with now is to save to the database. So to save to the database, it's going to take long. We might need to test if ever this thing is working. Okay, there we go. So it's not yet saving to the database, remember? So there we go. Okay, I've mixed up these two, but it's fine. Now you're gonna select your subject and you're gonna select your mark. You will select your subject and you will select your mark. Your subject and your mark. Your subject and your mark. Now, depending on our algorithm, should this person be accepted or rejected? Based on our algorithm. Our algorithm says minimum score for you to be accepted, it's 16. Is this enough marks? How much is this? This is 1, eh? This is 3, eh? So altogether this 2 gives you 4, right? This is 2. Now you have got 6. Now you have got 8. So you should not be accepted, right? So when you click here, okay, it's taking us back to the code just to deal with one more issue. Oh, there's nothing to execute. There's nothing to execute. I haven't returned anything to execute, so it has to stop me there. So mathematics, I'm gonna give you 0 to what? Physical science, give you this. Life science, give you your 30s, and geography will also give you a 30s. So we're still back on the same thing. So as you can see, the results, it's saying what? The person has been rejected. But we can tweak some marks around and see what if this person got 100 somewhere else. You can see it changes, right? Because there are other bigger scores, like this 7 and this 7 gives you already 14. So you are almost left with 2 marks, which you're gonna get the points from here, right? So this is good enough. We just need now to save this into our what? Our database, then the project is completed. Okay, how do we save this to the database now? That's the next part. So we must write a query here, a very, very long query that is speaking to the database. So this will be insert into the name of the table. I think we're calling it students score. Did I say scores or score? Scores, right? Now, we need to be very careful on how that table looks like. The first one we're saving is the surname, so it goes like this. It says single quotation, double quotation, 2 positive signs. And then we're gonna save the surname text box dot text. Okay, surname has been saved. We need to save the name now. Single quotation, double quotation, 2 plus signs in the middle. Then we're gonna go for the first name, text box dot text. So you now see the importance of renaming those values from your design, because now you are easily able to pick them up instead of picking up something called text box 1. Next one, we need to capture your first subject. So this will be another string. So single quotation, double, 2 positive sign. This one will be easier to repeat, because here we just say subname 1 dot selected item dot to string. This one is a little bit long. Dot to string, correct. The same will apply to the other one. So I think from here now, all we have to do is copy this, and unfortunately we have to do it 8 times. Copy, paste. So that is the second time. Each time we paste it, we must make sure we're changing here. Instead of sub1 name, it becomes the mark. Done. Come to the end, paste it. It's 2. Come to the end, paste. It's 2, and it's not name, it's mark. Two. Sub 2 mark. There we go. We're going for 3 now. Subject number 3. Pasting this. Number 3. Come to the end. Paste this. It becomes number 3 mark. Okay, almost done. We're going for the last one. This is number 4 now. The name of the subject. And number 4 for the mark. Okay, so all in all the marks have been saved. We are left now with the results. So the results, we're going to get it again with a comma, single quotation, double quotation, 2 positive sign, And in the middle, we're going to paste right. In the middle, we're going to paste the results label dot text. Done. Now, just to show you that there is no fluke here, here's my table. Select all top 1000 rows. You should see no data on this table. As you can see, there's nothing here, right? Now let's go run our application. Okay, my surname, my name, the subject I'm gonna pick is maths. I'm gonna pick 72 to 79. I'm gonna go for physical science. I'm gonna say this one I aced it, and I'm gonna go for life science. This is what I got. I'm gonna go for geography, and this is also what I got. Now, by default, you can see the marks. This person is supposed to be accepted, right? So let's see. I missed out. Incorrect syntax near near the bracket, the last one. Okay, give me the last bracket. Insert into student score, surname, first name, subject 1, its mark, subject 2, its mark, subject 3, its mark, subject 4, and its mark. And then the results. The results label dot text went in. Oh, yes. I'm missing out a comma there. Get prepared for one last errors. Maths, physical science, life science, geography. 50, 60s, 100s, and 70s. The result is saying accepted, but it doesn't tell us whether it has been saved to the database, right? But if we do go to the database and execute this statement, can you see the information? The surname, the name, the subject 1, its mark, subject 2, its mark, 3, its mark, 4, its mark, and the actual results whether you are accepted or not into the program. Okay. Now the time it's 11:06. I am